You know what's funny? Everyone thinks they've got you figured out. They laugh. They smirk. They whisper behind your back like they're part of some grand, cosmic joke and you're the punchline. They look at your silence and they call it stupidity. They look at your patience and call it weakness. They see you stumbling and they assume that's all you'll ever do. But here's the thing about fools, they always assume they're the smartest in the room, and that's what makes them blind. Let them laugh. Let them joke. Let them craft their stories about who you are and what you'll never become. That's the beauty of being underestimated. Every second they spend mocking you, they're lowering their guard. And every second you spend in the shadows, you're sharpening your sword. See, people are obsessed with masks. They wear them. They live in them. They look at you through masks of arrogance, superiority, ignorance. But when you don't wear one, when you show up raw, real, unpolished, they don't know what to do with that. It scares them, so instead of understanding you, they label you. Easier that way. You're the fool, the failure, the dreamer, who's too late, too lost, too broken. But let me tell you something, they need to know you're not the foolish one. You never were. Fools laugh at effort because they've never had to bleed for anything. Fools mock ambition because they fear what it looks like in the hands of someone who won't quit. Fools write people off because they can't imagine anything more powerful than their own little kingdoms of comfort and mediocrity. But that's not where you live, is it? No, you live in the grit, in the grind, in the dark corners where no applause echoes, where no spotlight shines, where the work gets done and the soul gets forged. You know why they joke about you. Because if they took you seriously, they'd have to confront the fact that you're not like them. That you didn't sell out. That you didn't give in. That you didn't trade your identity for validation. And that kind of integrity, it's rare, it's dangerous, it threatens the entire illusion they've built for themselves. They call you a joke. Good. That means they're watching. That means they've noticed. That means they feel something they won't admit, fear. Not of who you are now, but who you're becoming. They don't see you for what you are, they see you for what they hope you'll never be. Because they remember when you were quiet, when you kept your head down, when you smiled to keep the peace, even when the war inside you was ripping your ribs apart. They remember when you doubted yourself, when you begged for crumbs of approval, when you shrank yourself to fit into rooms you had every right to dominate. And they think that version of you still exists. But here's the plot twist. That version of you died the moment you decided to stop waiting. The moment you realized the crown wasn't something to be given, it was something to be taken. Built, burned, forged in silence and crowned in fire. So let them tell their jokes. Let them roll their eyes when you speak. Let them mock your dreams, your hustle, your scars. Because while they're laughing, you're building. While they're sleeping, you're grinding. While they're gossiping, you're planning. You're growing into something they don't even have the language to describe. See, there's a special kind of rage that lives in people like you. Not the kind that destroys, but the kind that builds. A storm that doesn't scream, but whispers promises to the wind. The kind of rage that turns, never, into, just wait. That alchemizes pain into power. That takes every time you were called a joke, a mistake, a disappointment, and turns it into fuel for a legacy. Because you're not here to be liked. You're not here to fit in. You're not here to meet their expectations, shake their hands, or play their game. You're here to make them choke on every lie they told about you. You're here to collect every piece of doubt they threw at your feet and build your throne with it. You're here to remind them that the real fool was the one who thought you were finished. They don't see the long nights, the silent tears, the aching muscles, the private battles, the moments you almost broke. They only see the smile you give them, the one that says, "I'm still here." And they think that smile is naive, that it's blind hope, but it's not. It's war paint. It's the grin of someone who's tasted hell and came back carrying fire. You don't need to explain yourself to them. You don't owe anyone a press release on your evolution. Your progress isn't a performance, it's a prophecy. And those who laugh now, they'll sit in silence later. Because while they mocked the storm, you became it. While they feared the dark, you learned to see in it. While they stayed safe, you learned to fight. This world is full of people who play it safe and then laugh at those who don't. It's full of people who never risk, never dream, never leap, then call you foolish for trying. Don't envy them. Don't waste your fire trying to warm the cold hearts of cowards. Keep going, keep building, keep becoming the version of yourself they swore you'd never reach. Because soon, the same people who used to laugh, They'll be quiet, they'll avoid eye contact, they'll rewrite history in their heads. I always believed in you, they'll say. But you'll know, you'll remember every time they rolled their eyes, every time they cut you off mid-sentence, every time they treated your vision like fiction. And you'll realize that you never needed their belief. You just needed time. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about honoring that voice inside you that whispered, "Don't give up," when everything around you was screaming, "You're done." It's about rising, not because they doubted you, but because you promised yourself you would. They need to know you're not the foolish one. Not because you said it, but because you became it. You outlasted them. You outworked them. You outgrew them. And one day, when the world finally sees you for what you are, you won't have to say a word. Your presence will be your proof. Your success will be your shout. And your silence will echo louder than their laughter ever did. Because real strength isn't loud. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need validation. It just keeps moving. Quiet, focused, relentless. You're not the fool. You're the one who dared. You're the one who stayed standing when the crowd tried to bury you in mockery. You're the one who kept walking when the road disappeared. You're the one who turned ridicule into a rhythm. You're the one they'll tell stories about, not because you begged for a spotlight, but because you built one from the ashes they left behind. So let them laugh, let them doubt, let them joke, because while they're busy trying to figure out when you'll fail, you're busy becoming the reason they'll never forget your name.